What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of Mama and Papa Joe. Today on the menu, Valentine's Day Duck Confit. These are so beautiful. Check out how Mama and I got these done. Listen to that crispy skin. Wow, let's go. All right, first thing we're going to do to start this confit is to make a bit of a brine. In this brine is going to be some minced garlic, kosher salt, some thyme, a little fresh rosemary, a couple of bay leaves. Very simple. What I'm going to do is to strip these leaves and then chop them up. The thyme is pretty simple. Just go backwards. And then same thing with the rosemary. The stem is pretty woody, so you definitely don't want that anywhere near it. So once you've got your thyme and rosemary pretty much loosened from the stems, you want to give them a nice little fine chop. All right, I'm going to call that good. So back into my bowl. I'm going to come in. This is 3 teaspoons of salt, 1 clove of fresh garlic, finely minced, and a couple of bay leaves. Just going to crush these up just a little bit. And this is going to be our dry brine. Here's our duck legs. Pretty nice, man. Now, a little on the pricey side. They're roughly $9.99 a pound. They come 2 to a pack, vacuum sealed nicely. The 4 of these weigh just a little over 3 pounds. That's why I went with 3 teaspoons of salt. I'm gonna get these to the sink and just get them rinsed off and dried. And if you don't know much about duck, it's a dark meat. It kind of looks a little beefy, very flavorful. We're just gonna get rid of things like this. But outside of that, we're not going to do much trimming. Again, this little flap we don't need. That is pure fat. We're not going to get rid of this. We're going to cook this down because I want to use this fat as part of the confit. And that's pretty much it for trimming. Because there's so much fat under the skin, we're going to use the jacquard. Again, just some nice little holes in here, man, just to help that render. Just about a teaspoon into our brine. Now we're going to come back, get this all over everybody. These are going to go into the fridge for upwards of 24 hours. I did not go very heavy with the salt, so I don't have a problem going that long. I think it's going to be closer to about 16 or so hours. See you tomorrow. Our duck is out of the fridge from that dry brine. It's been about 16 and a half hours. And man, look at the oils that has come to the top. I think from that jacquarding that I did yesterday. We're not going to brush anything off. We're not going to rinse. Perfect amount of salt, I believe. I've knocked off the knuckles to make for a cleaner presentation when this is finished. But we're going to take this out. It's been out the fridge about an hour. We're going to take this to the Traeger. Traeger is going to be on about 170 to 180 degrees. I don't want to cook this. I just want to get some smoke. I'm even going to throw in my smoke tube to get some additional smoke very quickly before we come back and start the confit process. Let's head outside. All right, so the Traeger is preheated to 180 degrees, man. We're just going to come right in here. Smoke tube is going nicely. And we're looking for maybe a half an hour to 45 minutes. And we'll come back and pull these and begin the confit process. All right, it's been 35 minutes, man, and we have been getting some great smoke. So I don't want to overdo it. Man, look at those oils just coming out of that duck. That is ridiculous awesome. All right, so now I'm going to crank this Traeger up to 275, and we're going to go in here and confit. Put this in the oil. So confit is an old French way of preserving foods. Confit means to cook in its own fat. You could use just about any type of oil, but I'm going to be using duck fat. Now, to minimize the amount of duck fat I have to get, I'm going to try to use the smallest container that I can possibly use. So these are going to be a tight fit without having them overlap. That's not going to work. I will have to get a bigger pot. Let's try here. All right, that works right there. So I've warmed up 3 of these bottles of duck fat. I don't think we're gonna need all 3, but here it goes. Oh yeah, this worked out nicely. We want that the duck is fully submerged, and then 2 of them gets it done. This is our fat from yesterday that I trimmed off. These are the knuckles that I trimmed off. I'm gonna drop those in here as well. Come back with some aromatics, some fresh thyme, and rosemary, and a couple of crushed garlic cloves. All right, and we're headed outside. So that Traeger's now at 275. We're back on here. I am thinking at 275, this may take 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm gonna do the first hour in smoke. Then I will come back and put the lid on it, finish the cook. Our smoke tube is still giving us some nice smoke. We are about 1 hour and 10 minutes in. Man, we've got a nice gentle bubbling going. A little temperature check, 186, 187. And I anticipate that these will probably be where I want them, right around the 200 or so degree temperature. All right, so we are at 1 hour covered. Let's see what we're looking like. They totally probe tender. We're looking at 210. We should have some nice pullback. That's what I'm looking for right there. That pullback is a great indication that they're done. Man, nice and soft. So I'm gonna turn this Traeger off, and we're going to let these duck legs rest and cool down in this pot. Man, we've given these a good 2.5 hours to come down to temperature, and I'm telling you, that skin is just so tender. These are absolutely ready to be eaten, man, and would be delicious this way. But what we're going to do, we're going to just leave them overnight in this duck fat. Then tomorrow, we're gonna pull them out, get some of the duck fat off, and then crisp them up. They're gonna be absolutely delicious. This is how they used to preserve meat back in the days, folks. Because there's no oxygen in here, you can leave these pieces of duck in here for months at a time without refrigeration, and they will be perfectly fine. But we're just going 1 more overnight, and we shall be good. This is fresh out of the fridge. It's the day after. We're just going to let this slowly warm up, come to room temperature, allow that fat to melt so we can remove our duck legs without globs of fat stuck to it. So our duck, man, has been warmed up just enough to get this oil to really loosen up. I'm gonna place the duck on our rack. No seasoning or anything, man. This is well seasoned. I'm gonna fill this pan with water. My oven is going to be on about 425 degrees, and I will be keeping a close eye as I try to crisp up the skin. The water is going to prevent the bottom from scorching and drying. At the same time, it protects this oil from burning and causing smoke. So that is the plan. Folks, I've got a number of things going right now, man, on the stove. Way too much to film by myself. I've got some awesome mushroom risotto on the stove. I'm getting ready to peel these pears and apples. I'm going to put these on a griddle with some awesome Uncle Steve dessert shake. All right, here we are, folks. And for a change, man, we're not going to taste. We're going to go straight to the table. Oh, crispy. I'm cracking that skin. Nice presentation, man, with those knuckles chopped off. A little gravy. My gravy kind of got cold on me while we were trying to put this together. Those nice caramelized apples with that Uncle Steve dessert shake. And a little salad on top of some mushroom risotto. So Mom and I are getting ready to put it down. So as usual, folks, we want to thank you guys and gals for hanging out with Mama and Papa Joe. We appreciate you stopping in. I hope you have a wonderful and loving Valentine's Day, and may your meal be just as awesome as this one. Be on the lookout for another video coming soon. In the meantime, Mom and I want you guys to take care of yourselves, love each other, and we'll see you when we see you. Holla.
Happy Valentine's.